Hey gang, Chris here. I'm excited to share with you the news of my new game coming out on Steam in a couple of weeks. This game is called SpAIceRocks, and it's spelled with an AI, particularly because almost 90 to 95% of the game has been built with nothing but AI. That was my core goal. It's open source, and so today I'm just giving you a quick introduction to what the game's about. But I'm going to do a whole video series on this, and I just want you to be aware of it so that you can look at the videos and you can download all the source code and all the content yourself if you want to, just to follow along. So this is the Steam page, and you can see a trailer here, and you can get to it. I'm going to put a link in the video as well as into the LinkedIn postings and other places that I put this on social media. But again, you have to wait a couple of weeks because Steam forces you to wait a couple of weeks when you actually get approval. So I've received approval, and here I'll give you a quick outline on what I'm looking to do with the video series. So the first off, just to be clear what this is a match 3 game, and it's built on Unity 6. So for those of you who follow along, Unity 6 was published in October in 2024. By the way, I work for Unity, and my logo's on the wall here, but I'm not representing Unity in this video series. This is just Chris Harden sharing his knowledge on AI and how I used it to generate this game. So just keep that in mind. But the concept is, as much as possible, I've used AI to build this, again, along with Unity 6, which you can see right here. This is the Unity environment. And it's got a bunch of good stuff in there. It's got a game manager, a UI manager, audio manager, a board manager for handling all the match 3 logic that you see here in front of you. So if I'm swapping gems and that kind of stuff, it's handling all that for me. Lots of stuff going on in the game, especially for a Unity newbie, which I consider myself in terms of building games with the Unity platform. I published games in the past, but not on Unity. And so my goal here is to share with you how I went about from zero to getting this game built and published on Steam using as much AI as possible. And it took me about just a month of development time with a variety of technologies. And I'm going to switch over to my GitHub to show you. So you can go to Chris A. Harden and the SpAIceRocks, again with AI, download everything. You can build this yourself. And again, I did it in a month of evenings and weekends. To be clear, I got a couple of kiddos, I got a full-time job. This is me being a real decent newbie in Unity. I can do some basic stuff in there, but I'm nowhere near a savvy developer by any means in terms of Unity skill sets or technical artistry skill sets. So I'm going to go over a variety of things. And I'm going to bring over a little Google Doc real quick to show you all the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in these video series. Okay, this is pretty lo-fi demo here, but just kind of roll with me. So I talked about the concept. Again, you'll be able to play the game soon. You can download and build it yourself today if you want to, or just wait till January 20th. And you can get all the source code today. But here's what's coming. I'm going to talk with you and show you how I built the game really from scratch using Klein, which is a Visual Studio plugin. So this is Visual Studio, VS Code, not Visual Studio, but VS Code. It's free. If you've ever been interested in coding, you probably already know about VS Code anyhow. You can get this. But I've installed a plugin called Klein, which I absolutely think is awesome. And we'll go over that and how it works. Along with, I use Anthropic, I use Claude. We'll also talk about Copilot, which I also use. And so you'll get to see a left and right on how the whole game was generated from scratch and then edited, building all these different pieces of the technology stack and code. So there's going to be a whole set of videos on that here. I also used Muse from Unity to build, to do a variety of things, but particularly to add in these editor items for adding cheats to the game so that I could do QA, aligning user interface elements. This is based on UGUI that you see here, if you know what UGUI is. Changing fonts, finding assets, all sorts of little things you can do, inside the Unity editor. But I generated all these different tools with Muse. I can't show you Muse during the videos because it's still in beta, but I can show you some of the value that it's already brought. And so you'll get to see, as an engineer or code developer, how you can use code, start from scratch as a newbie, and then also iterate on it, adding more and more intelligence. And then I'm going to show you, you can also do things like generate documentation and diagrams, and README files, mermaid diagrams, which you'll already be able to look if you want to do a little perusing. You can see some diagramming here, and there's more inside the docs directory. So I'm not going to do too much of that now, but that's going to happen. Now, of course, AI content, that's a big thing. It's really exploded last year. I'm going to show you how I use Midjourney to generate assets, and then REMBG, which is using AI to clear out backgrounds so that I can have these sprites. And so everything that you see in the game, all these assets, all the sprites, and even the background images, all of that's from Midjourney through a fast pipeline that I use to clean out the backgrounds. I'll talk about that. I generate the music with Udio. If you follow me, you know I'm a huge fan of Udio. I also have sound effects from Optimizer AI. And I couldn't get everything, so I went to free sound. So I'll go across all the sound effects. Font choices were guided by AI. I have some non-AI stuff in there. I could not get decent special effects. Maybe again because I don't know yet how to get that. Okay, and also text. A lot of text descriptions and stuff in there. All again as much AI as possible. And last but not least, generating all the store assets. So if you go into Steam, all the stuff that's used to generate the assets, a lot of the screen grabs, which is fine. But there's also all this stuff like on the right-hand side, like this imagery, icons, and there's a ton of different versions of assets that go into publishing on the store, including the trailer, which I also, if I click on the trailer again, there's some nice little stuff here at the very beginning, a bumper on the trailer that I made here, that's animated as well. And so, let's see if I can get this, go back to the beginning. So this all was done with AI. So there's some stuff that's not AI, but as much as possible was generated with AI. And I'm going to go across all of that. And here's one really big important piece, the publishing timeline. I mentioned to you it took me a month of evenings and weekends, again, not every evening, not every weekend even, building the app. It's going on almost 2 months now to actually get this thing onto the Steam store. So I'm going to go deep dive into publishing timeline if you've never published on Steam. And so the challenges I have had in getting onto the store. Honestly, it was lightning fast to do what they needed me to do around generating assets because I used AI for that. But just the timeline was a challenge. So this is a preview of what's to come. And I'm looking forward to sharing all this with you guys over the coming weeks as I have time to generate these videos. So anyway, keep an eye on my channels, either on YouTube or on LinkedIn, and I look forward to going on this journey with you.